It was during 1999. I first came to Bangalore, the garden city we call. It was so beautiful if you see Bangalore at that point of time, the Brigade Road. And when I started covering the manufacturing of Bangalore, Pina is something which we cannot forget. And there was this company, Fenwick And Ravi. So many times I've seen them in exhibition, and I always knew about the famous Fenwick And Ravi. But after all these years, I got the chance to meet Mr. Ravi, one of the founder of Fenwick And Ravi, at India Warehousing and Logistics Show. That itself was a very, very like odd man out kind of feeling for me, because I am seeing Fenwick And Ravi as a company offering precision equipments for the machine tool industry. And I never knew that, why they are here. And that is something what we can say, that engineers never stop to innovate. They engineer and they make something great every time. And FAR have expanded their portfolio by entering into the logistics and warehouse industry by offering this WHIZZ Radio Shuttle, which can make the life of many manufacturers easy. Thanks that you given an opportunity to interact with you.
Thank you very much. I've been reading your machine maker or name. I never had an opportunity to meet you in person. Also, surprisingly, from the same part of India. I've also studied in Trivandrum, though not a native of Trivandrum. Anyway, nice to meet you.
Actually, let me be very frank. Sometimes, it was not that, FAR was very close to me, but again, there is a time always to meet people. But there is FAR Hydraulics, Kiran.
Yes.
So we had in our times, we speak about Fenwick And Ravi, because there in machine tool industry, I think you are a pioneer. So how was that story of FAR in the machine tool industry and then coming to the WHIZZ? If you can just share us that.
Machine tool industry, people may not know, but then by default, machine tool is in my blood. The reason being, my father was a very, very senior machine tool person throughout. I know maybe you don't know him, but he was, I think, the first few employees of CMTI sent to Czech. They set up a Czech. So I think he joined CMTI sometime in 61 when it was formed all along. And then he was an HMT for a long time, a designer. Not because he's my father, but most of the HMT machines that are famous, they have the NH, SBNC, all have been designed during his time. And then he was heading BFW for around 7-8 years as a technical person.
What's his name?
P. Radhakrishnan. He started a company, then after the work, he wanted to start something on his own. So he started a company in Kerala called NC Machines, making CNC machines. They ran for around 8-10 years and then had to wind up. But then he has been a machine tool person all along. So machine tool comes from that. So I've not worked anywhere apart from FAR. My only employer or employee or everything is only one company. I've not worked anywhere apart from this, because he said if you want to start when you are young. So straight after engineering, I've started. I went along with Fenwick, who was working, and then so that's how it is.
Now, how Fenwick came into this picture? If this was your first concern?
Yeah. He is 2 years senior to me in college. Studied together in college. So, along with machine tool, we have some amount of football in us. So, we were playing for the college football team. So, he's 2 years senior to me. Football has always been football and sports, football in particular. So, we have a full team playing in the Bangalore division. We have a professional team playing in the Bangalore Football Division League. They play with the famous Bangalore Football Club and all that. So they are in the Super Division. So that's been more of a passion, not for any commercial thing. It's only more of expense. So football is what brought us together, because we still run a football team. And then, of course, innovation, trying to do something mostly that's not available in the country. Has its own share of difficulties when you say not available in the country, because you can look at it as opportunity. But these days, slightly better. But in 90s when we started, anything made in India is looked at suspicion. The quality was not great, generally speaking. So acceptance was always a challenge. So any product would take 7 years, 8 years, 10 years to get accepted. These days, I think it's now 2-3 years. Maybe because we are in the industry for 30 years, people are more aware to technologies across the world. People have started traveling around. They see products outside, and then they believe Indian products also could be as good. Opportunities are given better compared to what it was long back. We also have a small history now. We have close to 20,000 of our products working in India, and reasonably, I think, around 2,500 outside India in various parts of the country. So that's been the machine tool journey so far.
See, actually, it was so nice to hear from you the journey. If it was now, Fenwick and Ravi should have been started this company, there should have been a Startup India there should be a different story about startups. There are so many startups coming, but all these years, before 32 years, you both started, and partnership is something we see anytime break and go. And again, congratulations to both of you for creating such a successful story of far for India and abroad.
Yeah, thank you. It's got its own share of challenges, but maybe being very young, you don't have that kind of a baggage. Today, I think when people, today, we're talking of today, baggage, I think, is the single biggest problem. When somebody starts an industry today, you have to reach some kind of scale in no time, and that's a baggage you start with. So if you've not done this Series A, B, C, D of funding, something is wrong with you. We didn't have all those kind of baggages those days, good and bad in various forms. Resource was a challenge all along. Resource was a challenge. Maybe if we had little more resource, we would have done better. But then a lot of resource comes with strings attached. So it comes strings attached, you don't have the kind of freedom to fail also. So failure would happen. So now when you fail, you're out. So it's got its own good and bad. Exposure to the world is much bigger, much better today. There's no doubt about it. I think it's a different environment. Startups are just coming up. Very few in the manufacturing. I have not really seen anything in the manufacturing areas because manufacturing would take time. Anything that you get into manufacturing to see some results, I think 3-5 years is the minimum kind of time periods. Whereas in the software technology areas, it is true you can show results faster. Unfortunately, everyone expects results faster also, which is many a time leading businesses down. It's a different world now. I think it might take another 5-10 years to really possibly develop, and then it has to come out and form a new set of rules. The rules are being possibly formed today. I hope in 5-10 years a new set of conditions will evolve for the startups.
Yeah, I think the journey of setting up a manufacturing is not that easy today also. But what happened, the time when you were there, you were all alone. You had a thought process and you just started. And today the government, including Atal Incubation Center, then ISB, there are sort of startup. And for you also, for example, you made this new product, right? This is a new innovation. Do you know that you can get a 20 lakh rupees grant today also for you, if this is a new company? And for even far, if you want to develop a new product, you never applied for these things, you can get that. So those kind of measures were not at your point of time, but still establishing a product is definitely not an easy in manufacturing like other industries.
I think establishing a product, whether it's manufacturing, anywhere is not easy. Manufacturing is possibly a little more difficult, takes time. Could be true. I have no idea about IT industry. You have a lot of products in the IT industry. I'm sure developing and evolving successful products in the IT also would take time, and it takes dedication. So dedication is there. Time is okay. For 2, 3, 4 years is fine. But manufacturing today, because with our experience, as I was telling you, 94, 95, when we brought out a product, we knew the product would be cheaper. We are hoping it will be as good as a European product. And then we see, okay, it's cheaper. If it's as good as a European product, then it will just sell. Nothing sold. Okay, so that's what really happens. So nothing got sold. Still, we see the imported products being continuously imported. So there is a kind of a time taken, and then you have a tipping point where the things change over. It takes some amount of time. So right now, when we plan, with all the 30 years experience, sales experience, production experience, or whatever experience we have, we don't plan for success in less than 3 years. So if we say something will come out in 3 years, it's good. Earlier we used to think 1 year, and second year disappointed, third year people are out of it. So now the planning itself is for 3 years. So this project we started working around 2.5 years back. We knew it would take time, but then with the experience what we have, some things we are able to do little better, little different from what we did earlier. So this project has also started the warehousing, very new, something very new, as you rightly mentioned at the beginning. We are possibly odd people here.
Yeah, odd man out.
We don't want to be odd out. So that's why I have taken the role of the sales engineer again after 25 years. So I'm the only sales engineer for the new project, but I have to learn this. I have to learn the environment of this, the atmosphere, learn the people around here. It takes time. And then, of course, we're building a small team also along with it. We can take this forward.
And I think this is the future. For example, the kind of population, 145 crore people and growing, and logistics and warehousing is growing in a very fast way. We expect more and more foreign companies to come and manufacture in India, then send outside. So a lot of things are going to happen. And I think this is going to be a game changer for you. So why WHIZZ? why from machine tool industry to logistics industry? Again, it looks mechanical, but again, how that shift happened?
We have been, like any of the entrepreneurs, we always keep looking for opportunities for growth. And then many a time, more than growth, you feel you have little more energy, you have knowledge within the company that can be put to better use. So we've been working on areas with our expertise, and maybe some expertise we can build, some resources we can pump in compared to what it was 25 years back. So this has been going on. So we've been trying out a couple of projects. Actually, during the COVID time, you had these mask making machines in big demand. We got a mask making machine. We are surprised at ourselves. We got the whole machine out in 4 months. From design, we got some special permissions to work during the first wave. Design, entirely made, and COVID started in April. So by around I think September, the entire mask machine was ready, running out, and it is as good as any machine. So we spent maybe 50-60 lakhs on that. Could not sell the machine because by the time the COVID came down, and then the COVID kept up and down. Anyway, so these kind of new things have been going on, and then we've been looking. So finally, we hit upon this idea of warehouse automation. So when we say we are not in the construction of warehouses, automation solutions for warehouses, we have been looking for products which are generally not available in the country, matches our technology. So the mask making machine was something like that. But here we are now dedicated. After a long time, we've decided that we're going to stay in this line for as long as what is required to establish ourselves. So we started making the first few sales from 2023 now.
And I am sure that this is going to be a game changer for you. And I feel when I am trying to talk to you, for me, machine maker made a big change during pandemic, the COVID, which given us time to sit and understand where we are going right or wrong, given us a completely different perspective. I think I should start off thinking about a new series called pandemic innovations or pandemic creations, because it is great to see, and I'm so happy, I'm so privileged to stand in front of a legend of Indian machine tool industry, the people who believed in India, the people who created without having anything in but the self-confidence. So thank you very much, Mr. Ravi Radhakrishnan. I'm signing off here from IWLS 2023. I wish you all the very best for you, and for the WHIZZ, the new kid in the block.
Thank you very much.